So with day trading, what motivated you to start day trading?
Sure. Well, I wanted an opportunity to generate extra income outside of my daily work. So working full time, taking care of an extended family now, it's very challenging to find time. So I just happened to stumble upon it and learned a little bit more about trading, and that's really what piqued my interest.
And did you have like a handful of experiences, like different platforms, different approaches? Tell us a little bit about some of the experiences.
Sure. So I learned through a trading group. I was introduced by a friend. As I started learning about different systems and automations and indicators and all those things, I started going into the market and trying to find something that would work for me. Unfortunately, I just didn't have success. You know, a lot of the software really required you to be in front of the computer all day. And I just couldn't do that. You know, just with, like I said, with my busy lifestyle, it just wouldn't work for me. I tried them, didn't work.
Right.
And that's, you know, I was a little discouraged for a little while.
Yeah. Now, and you've been doing this for how long?
I'm actually a newer trader.
Okay.
I've only been doing this for about 9 months now.
Right. Now, TruTrade, you're involved, you love the technology. What was there a deciding part or a feature of this particular product that won you over?
Yeah, well, you know, what really won me over was actually talking to Danny at the company. So I gave him the background. I said, hey, I'm frustrated, I'm discouraged. What I'm doing now is not working. What does your company offer? And he listened to my needs, right? He asked me, well, what are you trading? What's your balance like? And then he custom tailored something for me, which is totally different approach, right? Everybody's trying to sell me their top package for, you know, top dollar, right? Danny was not like that. He was like, I'm gonna sell you the product that's gonna work just right for you.
Wow.
And that's really what drew me to TruTrade.
And what parts of the product were easy to understand, and what were maybe some of the more difficult, but some of the things you've mastered over time?
Sure. Well, you know, I think it does take some mastering because you do need to learn how the automation works. You know, it's not you just turn it on and it's going to do that. You have to learn. They provide the training that comes with it. They give you the instructions so you know how to set it up correctly. And then you got to use it consistently because you got to see how it behaves and you got to learn. And then you can start utilizing it. How are you supposed to do it, right?
Got it. Now, it's pretty sophisticated stuff, but I've been told that if you have a baseline information, you can be successful if you work hard at it. Is that somewhat true in your opinion?
Yeah, it is very complex software. Even after looking at it for months, I still don't know how it calculates everything, right? You would have to be a math genius times 20 to figure out what the software is doing. And I don't know that. And that's really not my job to do that, right? Because I trust the software.
Got it.
So I trade at certain times in the morning, typically at market open at 6:30, way before my job starts during the day. I kind of know how the pattern, how the market starts to move, and then I engage the automation, and then I just let it do its thing.
Got it.
And then my only decision is, when do I get out? You know, when do I take my profit? And that's really the biggest decision I need to make every morning.
So then from a specific or a practical, walk us through, you sit down, you have your cup of coffee,
Sure.
you fire up the platform. Just walk us through just a couple of steps just to give us an idea what that experience is like for you.
Well, sure. So I'm located on the West Coast, so it's Pacific time. So I get up about 6:15, 6 o'clock. I'm in my pajamas, cup of coffee. I look tore up, you know, I'm not ready for any sort of appearance of any kind. So I fire up my computer about 6:15 a.m. and then I start seeing what the market did overnight, in the overnight trading hours. I try to look for patterns, right? Was it high? Did it come down? Is it going to continue? Is it a continuation day? So I kind of look for those patterns, and then I wait for market open. And then I'm just sitting there watching it. And when I feel good about it, then I engage. And that's what I do. So yeah, I'm in my pajamas trading in the morning.
You gotta love that.
That's nice.
So what makes TruTrade unique, just in a personal way for you, you know, the product, the brand, the support, the network? What do you love about it?
Sure, you know, I like lots of things about it. I think the support is the first thing because, you know, they did custom tailor something for me. And I've been able to reach out with questions and they're happy to do that. But I really like about the company is that they're not overhyping it at all. They're not promising you instant riches. Because if somebody does, then you better watch out if that's what they're promising you, right? Yeah. These guys are promising that, hey, if you follow our automation and you do what you're supposed to and you learn with it, then you're going to be successful. And I've been lucky to do that.
Yeah. So if someone really is disciplined and they dig in and they do their work, what can they expect to make in a real world sense if they apply themselves?
I think the sky's the limit. Obviously you're limited by your trading account and other factors, of course. For my personal goals, I aim for 500 to about 1,000 during my trading session in the morning. That's my personal goal. Someone could have bigger goals than that, right? For me, it was just to create some residual extra income on a weekly basis. So that's my goal, and that's what I shoot for, and I do it consistently.
Is the platform set up in a way where when you hit your goal, does it notify you?
Yeah, so it does track your profit and loss, so you can see it on the screen at the whole time. So you really have to be disciplined. So when you reach a goal, you stop, right? You don't want to do something crazy and not follow your own discipline. So you have to be disciplined. Same way, if you don't meet your profit goal, it's okay. You're going to have another trading day, and there's many trading days in a year, right? So just be disciplined about it and be consistent.
Got it. And is there a personal approach, or how have you found your rhythm from day to day, staying consistent and staying disciplined with the product?
Yeah, I think for me has been really what I mentioned earlier was more of a just kind of take a look at the market overall. How are things looking? How am I feeling that day? If I'm like ill, like if I had a cold or something, if I'm not feeling well, that's probably not a day that I want to trade. It's just not, I'm not in it, right? So I think psychologically, you just got to be in it to say, hey, I'm going to do well today. You got to have the right mindset. And then you just enjoy it, right? Because it is fun when you see the P&L, it starts going up. It's exciting. I can't tell you, I've been working in banking for over 20 years, right? And I get a paycheck and it's a great living. But there's something just exciting when you're there in front of a computer and you just made, $500 to $1,000 in as little as 5 minutes and you're done, right? That's just amazing. I don't know any other industry that you can do that.
Yeah. So you get a profit. What's your personal approach and what's your mindset about reinvesting, taking some for yourself? Have you gotten that far with your own metric of how you're working with your money?
Yeah, it's changed over time, right? I think initially, before we had foster children, I was thinking, we're going to save for retirement, vacations, and that sort of thing, right? Now I'm thinking about how am I going to pay for college, right? I hadn't even thought about that until I have 3 kids now. So now I got to think out, man, how am I going to pay for that, right? So that's been a different motivation for me now, is to say, hey, you got to be responsible. Got to be thinking about the future.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm blessed to have a good job like I do, but there's other ways to supplement your income.
So you talked about motivation. Everybody wants to make a little bit more money, have a little bit better lifestyle. Sure. You talked about, taking care of your family. Are there any other motivations, like when you think about using this product? Because you seem pretty energized about just the idea of it. Are there any other motivations? Yeah,
there is. So when I first got into kind of learning about trading was via introduction from a friend, right? And I learned, and there's, I think, people out there that don't know anything about it, like I didn't know anything about it, right? I didn't know you could trade. I didn't know you could do any of those things. I thought you had to be a millionaire to do this type of trading. It's not so. So I think companies like TruTrade, I think, can really help an average person like myself that's not even in that industry learn about trading, provide a tool that can work, and give it a really serious go at it.
So then, if you were to say TruTrade is the perfect opportunity for this person, who would you say this person is?
Well, I think it could be from the beginning trader like myself that has some resources to purchase automation, but maybe don't have the resources for a huge capital account, right, to fund an account, to someone that has millions that really needs to leverage automation for risk management in general, right? If you're managing a big portfolio, this is software that can help you manage that, and be successful. The software is versatile, so you can put in your profit and loss maximums and losses as well. You can say, after it reaches a certain threshold, it's going to stop. So the software will do that automatically for you. So you don't have to be in front of it at all. You could just let it automatic and let it do its thing. It's one of those things you just kind of stumble upon, and maybe I just got lucky, because there's so many people out there pretending that they're the solution when they're really not.
Yeah.
So I think I hit the jackpot, like they say, when I ran into Danny and Brian at TruTrade.
A lot of times people want to take action on a good thing, but they get distracted, something comes up, or they just don't want to make the decision. What would you recommend to help people maybe take a next step?
Sure, I think you mentally have to be prepared that this is something you truly want to do, because you do need to commit to yourself. The next thing is, you should learn about the markets and just know the basics, right? You don't have to be an expert in it, but just know the basics. And really the third thing you need is a software tool to do it. Like I said, when I first entered the market at 6:30 in the morning, it's so volatile, you couldn't do it manually. You could not put in your trade fast enough because the market would turn on you. And it just wouldn't be profitable for you to do that. So you need an automation tool to do that for you. I just don't see how you could do it manually, to be honest with you.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Thank you.